Hello all, I am Elil Sabrish Kannadasan from LTRAC, Monash University, and my topic is Effect of Inlet Spatial Resolution on the Direct Numerical Simulation of Turbulent Channel Flow. In the experiments, the small scales are difficult to resolve because of the limited resolution, whereas in the DNS, the small scale evolved rapidly, but it requires a large computational domain to evolve the large scale structure. To combine the strengths of the DNS and experiment, the impact of the inlet spatial resolution of inflow conditions on the DNS has to be quantified, which is the aim of this project. To achieve the above mentioned aim, the synthetic experimental data generated from the periodic channel DNS is used. This inlet data from the periodic domain is filtered and then fed into the inlet outflow DNS. To quantify the impact of the inlet accuracy and resolution, the statistics spectra of periodic and inlet outflow DNS are compared. Hereafter, the periodic channel flow DNS is referred as PCH DNS and the inlet outflow DNS is referred as IOCH DNS. A staggered second order finite difference channel code was used. This code has been modified into a dual channel code with first channel is periodic channel and the second one is inlet outflow DNS. Two Reynolds number cases were considered, in which the RE2 180 case is used for inlet validation and the RE2 550 case is taken to analyze the influence of spatial resolution. The length of the domain, the number of grid points, and the spatial resolution for the both cases are given in this table. This inlet is validated for RE2 180 case. This confirms that the feeding inlet data into inlet outflow DNS has negligible effect on the first order statistics and the second order statistics. This slide shows the pre-multiplied span-wise energy spectra, which shows the use of the inlet largely maintain the flow scales and the energy at the resolve scale. In experiments, the small scales are difficult to resolve because of the finite measurement volume, and the length scales that are smaller than the measurement volume is filtered out. Hence, the DNS velocity field is to be modeled as PIV measurements to determine the effect of spatial resolution of PIV on the DNS. For that, an interrogation volume, this green color volume, from the periodic domain was taken and it is integrated and then interpolated back into the inlet outflow DNS. The interrogation volume was chosen at x by h equal to pi by 4 downstream of the inlet so that it is not affected by the outflow boundary condition errors. The grid spacing is half of the interrogation window size. The interrogation window size is 16 plus and 16 plus in the wall normal and span wise direction, which correspond to 32 cross 32 pixel, and the laser thickness in the stream wise direction is 11 plus. The filter velocity is given as integration of full resolution DNS velocity over the interrogation volume. The integration was done using trapezoidal rule. Finally, the integrated velocity are interpreted onto the non-uniform grid using the spline interpretation. RE2 550 case was considered and the resolution comparable to the PIV measurement is considered as PIV inlet. For that, 11 plus in the stream edge direction and 8 plus in the wall normal and span wise direction was chosen as grid spacing. This URMS contour for RE2 550 case shows the in the inlet outflow channel DNS, the URMS contour shows the fluctuations are removed at the inlet and how it evolves at the downstream of the inlet. We look at the 4 stations at x by h equal to 0, pi by 4 and 2 pi and 4 pi, where the mean velocity profile, fluctuating velocity profile and the spectra for both the DNS are compared. The first and second order statistics of periodic and inflow DNS are compared. Here the black line is the periodic channel flow DNS. At inlet plane x by h equal to 0, due to the spatial filtering, we can see the mean velocity and the fluctuating velocity profiles are not resolved near the wall. The subsequent slides will demonstrate how the mean velocity and fluctuation recover in the downstream. At x by h equal to pi by 4, the mean velocity profile is recovered, but the fluctuating velocity profiles are not recovered in the near wall region. The fluctuations are evolved downstream of the inlet at half of the domain, that is at x by h equal to 2 pi. The wall normal and span-wise fluctuations are recovered. However, the stream-wise fluctuations are slightly overpredicted. Near the exit of the domain, at x by h equal to 4 pi, the fluctuations are recovered completely. This slide shows the pre-multiplied energy spectra for RE to 550 case. The pre-multiplied energy spectra at x by h equal to 0 shows the filter inlet where the near wall flow scales are not resolved. The recovery of the flow scales downstream of the inlet is shown in the subsequent spectra. At x by h equal to pi by 4 and pi by 2, the near wall flow scales are not recovered completely. The near wall flow scales are recovered completely at half of the domain, that is x by h equal to 2 pi. The flow has fully relaxed and the inlet flood DNS is able to maintain the flow scale as observed. However, there is an increase in the peak energy. At x by h equal to 4 pi, that is near the exit of the domain, the flow has completely recovered and the effect of the inlet spatial resolution is insignificant. So this is a summary of this slide. The mean velocity profile is recovered downstream of the inlet at x by h equal to pi by 4. The fluctuating velocity profiles are recovered at downstream of the inlet at x by h equal to 2 pi. The span-wise energy spectra suggests that at half of the domain, that is at x by h equal to 2 pi, the flow scales are recovered. However, the peak of the energy spectra is higher than the baseline case. Thank you for listening.